my name is Angelo and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about open carry and some of the pros and some of the cons of open carry. So just to kind of jump right into it and to give you a little bit of background, I've been open carrying in the state of Texas for about 2 months now, and I live in one of the major cities of Texas, El Paso specifically, and if you guys didn't check the last elections, specifically for Texas, for the presidential election, we went, I believe, 70-30, 70% Democrat and 30% Republican. And that kind of gives you a general idea of the political demographic here in El Paso, Texas. So, what was my experience in El Paso, Texas? Well, nothing really all that different from concealed carrying, to be honest. People here they either don't notice the gun or they don't care that I have it. And I think there's a few reasons for that. One, I'm always presentable. Okay, so that's one of the tips that when I was doing my research that came up was like make sure that you're always presentable. Don't be that guy that's not presentable. And so I'm always in nice jeans, nice cowboy boots, and just my tactical hat here, and then just like a nice t-shirt like this. Like nothing crazy. I'm not in a button up like some people recommend. I'm not in a polo. I'm literally just casual wear. And more importantly is that I pretend like the gun's not there, right? And I think when it comes to certain instances with open carry, is that when people are open carrying, they don't act like they're not carrying a gun, and I can see how that could be a major problem. So, for me personally, in again the very short time that I've been open carrying here in El Paso, Texas, is that I've had two interactions, right? The first interaction was, hey, you can't have a gun in here, please leave. And they didn't have the sign posted or nothing like that. Or if they did have it posted, it wasn't clearly visible. And I was like, all right, I'm sorry. And I left. And then I went somewhere else. Now, keep in mind, this is not one of the places that I frequent. It was just like, oh, hey, I'm thirsty. I'm going to go get a water. I'm going to go walk into this gas station. The person was uncomfortable, or the cashier was uncomfortable, and they asked me to leave, and I left. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no big deal. I just won't ever go back to that gas station. And the only other one is I struck up a conversation with someone, a coworker actually, that when we were in the park, in a park. So essentially, I guess a coworker lives near me or something like that, and we were in a park, and like they saw me and like, hey, like you're carrying a gun. That's cool. What gun is it? Like, what do I got to do to get my license to carry? Like, how much does it cost to get a gun? Like, they were genuinely interested, but to be fair, that's kind of a poor case scenario because they knew me beforehand and they know my character. So to them, I'm not threatening either way, but either way, it just those are my only two instances. Is that one negative instance, and then the second one was a coworker. And again, it's not that big of a deal, as people make it out to be, because when people are like, oh, well, I mean, that makes you a target. Well, I mean, I guess, like, it does, but cops are targets too. But it seems like people are more preoccupied with them than me. And I think also what helped me with this transition, I should say, is the manner of which I did it. So if you're going to be that guy that walks into Target or Walmart with a drop leg holster for your handgun, or you're going to be that guy that carries a rifle, or you're going to be that guy that even does something like this, right? Like, I thought this was going to be okay, and when I put more thought into it, I realized that this might not be okay, just because of how aggressive it looks. I mean, to us as gun owners and as gun enthusiasts, this is just a holster. You know, it's an inanimate object. It looks cool or it doesn't look cool. It's utilitarian in nature, right? But to a lot of people, this is scary for whatever reason. It is. I guess it's just like the way the screws and the black and the hood, like, it's scary. And I did ask around, like when I asked the girlfriend about it, like she said, yeah, it's kind of intimidating seeing that on your hip because it's this big, giant, bulky holster, and then there's a full size gun in it, and it's just. But when she sees me in something like this, a leather holster, and there's a gun chilling in there, and it's real tight to my side, and it's just there, she's just like, you know, it's kind of stylish, right? As dumb as it sounds, because it's more stylish, it's less threatening. And that's something that I've kind of decided to go with when it comes to that. I promise you, I didn't just grab my junk. It's just the little one here wanted to be in my lap. So, and she started to fall out of my lap. So, yeah. All right. Anyway, as I was saying, um, it just wasn't bad. Like, my life literally has not changed other than that one incident where they asked me to leave. And outside of that, like, now I kind of feel relieved because I don't have to worry about printing. I don't have to worry about being uncomfortable. I don't have to worry about when I carry at 4 o'clock that if my gun clinks up against the chair, because I don't care. The only thing that you potentially would have to worry about here in the state of Texas is if you're the casual drinker, right? So when I say that, there are, in the state of Texas, you cannot be intoxicated and carry a gun. That does not mean you can't drink and carry a gun. Should you drink and carry a gun? No, that's a bad idea. But if you're the type of person that likes to have a drink with their dinner out in a public place and you carry a gun in the state of Texas, technically, and again, I'm not a lawyer, you could legally do so, assuming you were not intoxicated. Now, keep in mind the law says intoxicated, and intoxication could be the legal limit at 0.05, or it could be 0.01, depending on the police officer. So if you're that Texan that does that, I mean, you're rolling the dice, brother, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't do it. Uh, I just have to be, if anything, open carry has made me a better person than I would in concealed carry. I mean, don't get me wrong, concealed carry made me a better person, period. Because when you go from I don't have a gun to I now have a gun, you look at every single situation differently. And then when you go from I don't have a gun to I have a gun that no one sees to I have a gun that everyone sees, you start to really act your part. I've noticed recently that I say yes sir and yes ma'am way or yes miss or no miss way more often. Uh, I am a lot more patient with people. I tend to be more, and I guess modern day would be chauvinistic, hold doors open, help people like get down from the sidewalk, push someone's cart, stuff like that. Like I tend to be more of a better person. And is it kind of crappy that it took me to open carry to do those things? Yes. Yes, it is. But now I'm improving, and that's what matters is that I'm becoming a better person. And I kind of went off the rails to be honest, and that's just because this is what happens when I don't script videos. But that has just been my experience with open carry, and I know I didn't really go over any pros, but I think you could take away some pros there from what I just talked about, and just in general, for whatever reason, I feel safer, right? And at the end of the day, that's why we carry a gun. One of the reasons, at least that's one of the reasons why I carry a gun, is I want to feel safe wherever I am. And when I open carry, I feel safer than when I conceal carry because I am in the party where I believe that my gun is a deterrent. And I mean, you can argue with me all you want on that. You could be right. I could be making myself a target. But until that day comes where I can say, because I open carried a gun, I was assaulted by a criminal, I'm just going to keep doing it. And that seems, for some people, that seems really dumb. But at the end of the day, this is my personal choice. And uh, I don't know where else I'm going to go with this. To be honest, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I like carrying a gun. I like carrying a gun openly. And I'm kind of curious on what's going to happen. Is my life just not going to change when it comes to personal interaction? Or am I eventually going to find that Karen that's going to cause an issue? I'm sure I will eventually. I'm sure if I went to Austin and I open carried, assuming I could find a place to do it, I'm sure I'm going to find the Karen that'll call the cops on me and I'm going to have a conversation with police officers. I'm sure that, I'm sure maybe one day I'm not going to be paying attention. And, oh, speaking of which, there is one thing I do want to bring up really quick. If you like keeping your wallet in your back pocket or anything in your back pocket, if you're open carrying at 3 o'clock and or 3:30 and your holster is not covering that back pocket, do not use that back pocket. I learned that the hard way. So I was carrying at 3 o'clock. Well, in this case 9 o'clock because I'm left-handed. I was carrying at 9 o'clock with my CCP-10C, and I had my phone in my left back pocket. And this is just, I was just kind of hanging out, and I went to go reach back to grab my phone, but because you have to kind of reach like this, I'm sitting, so it's kind of weird. Here, let me stand up really quick. Here. Sorry, doggo. Oh no, you're getting caught. All right, I'm gonna stand up. I'm not wearing jeans. Forgive me. But so essentially, my phone's right here in my on my butt cheek in my back pocket. And essentially, what I went to do is I went like this. Like I just reached up over the gun, behind the gun, and I grabbed my phone. Now, as you can see, like on camera, like that's kind of nerve-wracking if you don't know me. So when I did that out in a public place, I did notice it caught some people's eyes because I did this motion, and I was just like, oh, you know what? That's probably not a good idea, especially if I'm talking to a cop or something. That's probably not a good idea. So I switched my phone to my other back pocket. I don't leave my phone in my front pocket because my front pockets is my mask and my wallet. So, and I also keep my keys in there and like pens and flashlight and pepper spray. And that's all in the front pocket. So the phone has to go in the back pocket. But anyway, yeah. That's pretty much all I got. If it seems heavily edited, it's because I rambled on a lot. But yeah, that's kind of my summary of open carry for the past 2 to 3 months. Nothing has really changed. I've become a better person, and I'm more comfortable. I'm more comfortable now, period. Both comfortable carrying, and I feel safer, and I'm happy. And if you want to argue about that in the comments, go ahead, leave a comment, and we'll have a discussion about it. And as long as we keep it civil, we're going to have a great time. Anyway, my name is Michael Angelo. Thank you for watching my channel, and I'll see y'all in the next one.